Literally everything that good, everything. Hello, my name's David Charles, and I'm really bad at networking. That's despite the fact that I know that literally everything good that has ever happened to me in my entire life has been as a result of this sort of a mind meld between my brain and the rest of planet Earth. Like being born, for starters, but also all my work, like writing 4 series of a BBC radio sitcom with my excellent co-writer and stupendous networker, Beth Granville. Also all my adventures that I've had, such as hitchhiking from London to Ben Nevis in Scotland with a dear friend, or cycling with the incredible Thighs of Steel crew, Thighs of Steel, through the Balkans from Italy to Greece. Incredible experiences. Would have been nothing without other people helping us, but also enjoying the experience together. No man is an island, except obviously the Isle of Man. That's a very different story. No human is an island. And I'm really sorry to break this to you, but the only alternative we have to networking is not working. So, for the past 2 weeks, I have been emailing people. Some of them old friends who I haven't spoken to for a while. Some of them complete strangers who I found on the internet. I've been doing this at exactly 1:27 p.m. every weekday. Why would I do that to myself? Well, it's all part of this little thing I've joined called the Reach Out Party. And you, internet human, you are my accountability buddy. Before I get into week 1 of the Reach Out Party, I want to quickly explain where it all comes from. So in 2017, Molly Beck wrote a book called Reach Out, the simple strategy you need to know to expand your network and increase your influence, mollybeck.co. This had absolutely no impression on my life whatsoever at the time, but in 2019, Carly Valancy read that book and was so staggered by the impact that it had on her life that she reached out, obviously, to Molly and suggested that they do this thing called reach out parties. Again, 2019, I was oblivious, but in 2021, January this year, Carly Valancy joined a community that I'm also a part of called Nest Labs. That's how I got to know her, and I found out about the reach out parties, and Carly did a little free taster session on Nest Labs and invited the members of Nest Labs to join for this cohort of the reach out party. Unfortunately for me, I thought, well, I can kind of reach out to people on my own. I don't really need a party to do it. Plus, it was $257, I think, and I was just like, that's a bit expensive for me on like a freelancer kind of thing. So I emailed Carly and I said, this is an awesome idea. I love it, but it's a bit expensive for me right now. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to reach out to people every day for 27 days, but I'm not going to join the party. Carly replied and she said, well, she invited me to join the party on a scholarship, which means that I am in the party for only $27, which is the best $27 I've ever spent in my life. Frankly, 2 weeks in now we are, $257 would have been a bargain. At the Reach Out Party, we all get together. There's about, I don't know, even 20, 30 people in the Zoom room. And Carly or Molly will say a few words, a few minutes, introducing a new aspect of the Reach Out Party. So week 1 was about specificity. So being very precise about the way that you reach out to people. So the way that they describe it is to give a gift that only you could give and only your recipient could receive. And then we spent about 20 minutes reaching out, sending our emails all together. It's a very silent time on the Zoom call, but it's nice to have that energy in the room. Week 1, day 1. I reached out to Florence Williams, who's the author of The Nature Fix, which was a book that I wouldn't say completely changed my life, but certainly gave me the confidence that I was on the right path. At the time, I was on the cusp of becoming an outdoor leader in an attempt to, A, get outside more, and B, help other people get outside more, because I had this vague sense that it was good for me. But it was only after reading The Nature Fix that I was convinced of how incredible nature is. And if you don't do anything today, please just go outside and hug a tree or something. So imagine my delight when a few hours later, Florence emailed me back saying that my email had made her day and wishing me luck in all of my fields. I'm not sure whether the pun was intended or not. But how cool is that? I just went to her website, found her contact form, sent her an email saying thank you, and made someone's day. Not only that, but I've now got this connection with Florence. Maybe I'll email her again sometime with an update. Who knows? So the rest of the week, I emailed some other authors who I admire. So Kapika Kasabova wrote one of the best books that I read last year, and I'll just read you a tiny little bit from it, actually. It's called Border, A Journey to the Edge of Europe. And I loved this little bit here, where she defines the word cheshma. From the Turkish cheshme, the pan-Balkan roadside drinking fountain where you tie your horse, fill your goat skin with water, slice a watermelon, drop your rubbish in the vicinity of the public bin. Sometimes a plaque marks the resting place of a local hero or remembers a person somebody loved, an everyday cousin of the Agiasma. The cheshma is hospitality without a host, the Balkan without borders. The water is good and you want to linger, tickled by butterflies. But if you linger, things happen. I had stopped at a roadside cheshma at the edge of a sleepy hamlet. When I turned, the man was already there. Fantastic book. She hasn't replied to me yet. So on Wednesday, I reached out to Andy Zaltzman and Chris, not sure his surname, who run the Bugle podcast, which is an audio newspaper for a visual world. It's basically about 45 minutes to an hour of satire by the greatest satirists that we can boast in the English language. So on Thursday, I reached out to Lisa Feldman Barrett, and she is a psychologist, and she wrote a book called How Emotions Are Made, which a couple of years ago completely changed the way that I see the world. Buy it now. And on Friday, I reached out to George Monbiot, who's the author of this book, Feral, which is another nature book. So I thought, as I've got it here, I might as well read it to you, basically. I mean, look how many notes I made in that book. It's called Feral, Rewilding the Land, Sea and Human Life. So I mentioned that there are two definitions of rewilding that interest me. The second is the rewilding of human life. While some primitivists see a conflict between the civilized and the wild, the rewilding I envisage has nothing to do with shedding civilization. We can, I believe, enjoy the benefits of advanced technology while also enjoying, if we choose, a life richer in adventure and surprise. Rewilding is not about abandoning civilization, but about enhancing it. It is to love not man the less, but nature more, which is a quote from somebody or other. It is a quote from George Byron, 1818, Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, verse 178. Fantastic book. Reached out to him. He hasn't replied yet. That's week one, and I would just like to end by doing what Carly and Molly do whenever we're about to reach out, which is to build up the energy and suggest that you too, at 1:27 or in your time zone, or 9:27 or whatever it is, it's got to be 27 though, that you also reach out.